Amidst the vast waves, where the boundary between humans and the ocean is just a hazy horizon, that is where fishing boats begin their journey. Without noise or fanfare, the work of fishermen is a silent battle with the weather, with the wind and waves, and with survival itself. But behind each catch is a story of technique, experience, and human courage. Let's follow the journey to the sea, where silver-white fish are brought from the ocean floor to the deck of the ship in exchange for sweat, strength, and love for the sea. After hours of netting and luring, the result was finally in sight. The fish were tightly trapped in the net compartment, thrashing violently in the foaming water. Each tail slap was a last-ditch effort to escape their predetermined fate. The fishermen began using nets, baskets, and specialized tools to quickly transfer the fish onto the boat. Each movement was decisive and coordinated because speed was a vital factor, both to keep the fish fresh and to avoid overloading the net. The specialized scoop net was moved into position, and in a matter of seconds, hundreds of fish were inside. Each lift weighed down the deck with the precious catch. The rustling sound of fish hitting each other, the silvery light flashing under the water, all creating a vibrant harmony of the ocean and human labor. This is the moment that every fisherman has been waiting for. The fish have entered the net. Now all that remains is to get them onto the boat as quickly and neatly as possible before the remaining fish have a chance to escape. After being scooped up from the net, the fish are dumped into large containers for sorting and preservation. The work pace on board is now more hurried and urgent than ever. Everyone is highly focused because speed is the deciding factor in the freshness of each batch of fish. The hauling in of the net, the heart of the whole trip, has begun. To fishermen in raincoats, braving the cold wind and the waves crashing against the boat sides, strained to control the lines and buoys, the huge net is pulled up bit by bit, as if lifting the ocean onto the deck. The weight of the net comes not only from the weight of the fish, but also from the pressure of time and the expectation of a good catch. The net was gradually pulled closer to the side of the boat, and now the results of all the hard work were clearly visible. One by one, the silvery fish began to slide out of the bottom of the net, spilling onto the deck, a sight that is unmistakable in the fishing industry. The rustling of the net, the splashing of the fish, and the sound of the waves blended together like a lively symphony of the sea. And then the most awaited moment arrived. A huge catch of fish poured out from the bottom of the net, covering the deck in seconds. Thousands of fish thrashed about, creating a lively sound like a silver rain in the middle of the ocean. When the fish rain had stopped, the deck returned to its familiar rhythm. The two fishermen began the final stages, sorting, cleaning the fish, and collecting the equipment. The remaining fish were quickly put into storage containers, and each meter of net was neatly rolled up, ready for the next catch. In the middle of the blue sea and sky, two fishermen are carefully lowering the first meters of net into the ocean. This is the beginning of a journey where all calculations, experiences, and judgments are put into each operation. Each net ring spreads out like soft waves, gradually sinking into the deep water. The sea breeze blows gently, the boat drifts quietly so that the net can be spread out to its fullest extent, creating the perfect trap for the school of fish swimming below. On the green deck of the ship in the vast night, the fishermen were still silently and diligently pulling their nets. There was no more sunlight, only the sound of the waves and the yellow light shining on the coils of rope gradually being drawn into the reel. The lights shone on the green deck, and then joy exploded. The first fish were caught, thrashing wildly in the net that was being pulled in. One of them was pulled up, its huge body glistening in the light, still unyielding. As the net gradually drew in, a big surprise appeared. A giant fish was caught in the net. thrashing violently as if it wanted to break everything. The group of fishermen immediately coordinated, using their bare hands to gradually pull it up from the edge of the boat. After a night of non-stop work, the spoils were neatly placed on the deck, sparkling silver under the lights. Big, beautiful, plump and fresh fish, a worthy reward for the hard work, sweat, and even the risks in the middle of the night sea. After the fish are sorted and thoroughly inspected, the next step takes place in the cold storage, where the temperature is kept at an optimal level to preserve the quality of the seafood. The fishermen gently arrange each fish on layers of ice, forming neat layers. The cold air in the storage does not stop the steady and professional hand movements of the seafarers, because they know well, if not properly cooled, all the effort out there will be wasted. Amidst the cold smoke coming from the freezer, the worker still carefully lifts each heavy fish into its final position. His eyes follow every movement, not taking a moment to relax, because at this step, meticulousness is the key factor to keep the fish intact and not crushed. Under the brilliant sunset, the group of fishermen together lowered their nets into the sea. Each meter of green net was spread out like a soft silk strip stretching along the waves, connecting people and the deep ocean. No one stood outside the work. Some held, some pushed, some tied, all coordinated smoothly in a wordless understanding. That was the collective strength, something that had accompanied them through many stormy seas, many trips with uncertain return dates. In the middle of the vast ocean, long nets are gradually being pulled back, floating along with each silver wave. The golden buoys marking the winding net line are like a brilliant streak of color on the deep blue background. Each time the net is pulled in, hope is drawn closer. Under the water, it could be a school of fish being gradually gathered in the middle, or it could be the wordless waiting of a group that has dedicated their lives to the sea. The entire team of fishermen joined forces, each pair of hands linked together, pulling each section of net up as if bringing the ocean closer. The fish began to spill out onto the deck, thrashing violently, their silvery light sparkling in the harsh midday sun. The sounds of the waves, of the fish, of human voices blended together to create a unique symphony at the top of the waves and the wind. Thank you for watching today's fishing trip. Hopefully, the video gives you a real perspective on life at sea. If you find it interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to support us and watch the next videos. See you again on the next trips.